Hey there! Welcome to today's video where we'll tackle a common problem that many people face when transitioning from using Mac laptops to considering a Linux laptop. The crux of the problem lies in the security measures taken by manufacturers to patch bugs and vulnerabilities in both the operating system and the hardware components of a device. So, the big question is, if you switch to a Linux laptop, who will be responsible for patching bugs and vulnerabilities related to the hardware? Now, let's delve into the solution. Unless the hardware is open source, the burden of addressing hardware bugs falls on the hardware vendors themselves. Hardware fixes usually come in two forms: those that require the hardware to be physically changed and firmware updates. Firmware updates can be handled in various ways, such as through device drivers, Linux tools, or vendor-issued tools like BIOS updates. The key takeaway here is that the responsibility for hardware bug fixes ultimately lies with the hardware vendors and how well they support Linux compatibility. In conclusion, when it comes to using Linux on a laptop, the responsibility for patching hardware-related bugs and vulnerabilities primarily rests on the hardware vendors. Linux distributions may provide tools and support for firmware updates, but ultimately it depends on how well the hardware is supported by Linux and a vendor's dedication to Linux compatibility. And with that, we've covered the ins and outs of navigating hardware security concerns when making the switch to a Linux laptop. Remember to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment below with your thoughts on the topic. Stay curious, stay safe, and until next time,